Hello Sagittarius, this is Victoria and I'm here with your August Tarot forecast. As always, we'll be looking at your love life, your career space, and we'll get you guidance from the universe on how to best navigate the energies of the month of August. At the end, we'll pull some messages from your personal interest to yourself. And as always, I'm going to be starting with a quick oracle message. So let's do this. I am now looking at a gorgeous sunset. Decided this way the sun actually is on my face. You can see me better, you can see the cards better. If you want to see what it's like the other way, which is beautiful canal with beautiful boats and gorgeous houses, you can watch Scorpio reading or Libra reading for that. So that said, we'll start with a quick oracle card. Just a reminder, if you're new, that there's a bunch of information in the description box on how to connect with me, about my content, my services, and yeah, everything that I do. And also remember that these messages are for Sun, Moon, and Rising Sagittarius. So if you're watching this for your sun sign, please check out videos for other placements as well. You'll get a more well-rounded message. With all that said, let's get started. So your message today is the desert passage. Trust that there is a divine plan. And yeah, a lot of times we get too much into the weeds of the situation that we're in, and we're trying to plan for the best. Apologize about the cars and the boats, they make noise, but also you get to experience these beautiful state parks, nature, which I think is worth it regardless. So we do sometimes lose track of the bigger picture, or understanding that whatever situation we're put into, even if it looks like some kind of a negative situation, we're blocked in our track, we forget that to trust that there is a divine plan in it. And even if it's a detour in your plan, there's a good chance that this is absolutely necessary to get to where you want to get eventually. So this is just a quick reminder about that, right? And sometimes the best way to get out of the tricky situation is just to relax into it, surrender and observe. It reminds me of a situation with the quicksand, where the more you move, the faster you're gonna go down. And if you're just relaxing to it, or this will give you a lot more time to, for someone to save you, for example. Or if we think of Harry Potter and that situation, I think it was second year Chamber of Secrets, maybe either first or second. No, it was first actually. It was the Sorcerer's Stone, where they're dealing with this plant that kind of like attacks you, and the more you resist, the more it kind of like wraps you up, it basically suffocates you eventually, right? But as soon as you fully relax, the plant relaxes you, and you can just then it frees you, like it sets you free. Sorry, I'm gonna use American English. So yeah, this is a reminder, and now let's get into the reading. So I'll start with the Tarot of Mystical Moments. This is going to be my main deck. I was telling Scorpio, just had a raccoon incident in this park where a raccoon, I think, first of all, they're very much used to tourists, so they don't mind just hanging around. Like I have a table here, like a picnic table, and first of all, they're used to just being very close, so the raccoon came so close. Like, I'm definitely not into animals that much, especially the wild animals. And then secondly, they usually think that there's food, right? Because why would you be at the table? And so I was trying to get away from the raccoon, which is hilarious to watch. The raccoon actually got on this table and picked up my cards, just a bunch of cards. And that moment I froze, and I was like this. I was terrified. So I was afraid for the raccoon to get my cards a lot more than I would be afraid for them to, bite me or anything. I understand that it's only probably going to happen if, if they have rabies, which is unlikely here, or if they feel threatened, which I was trying not to threaten, but it's like, how do you find that balance, you know, with a wild animal? To show enough authority so he gives me back my cards. And he could have just easily just run away with the cards just for fun, right? But fortunately, me standing up and getting like closer and shooing the raccoon helped, and he dropped the cards just like that. So I had to pick them up all over the place. But at least all my cards were safe. Just checking if I didn't miss any. Yeah, I think I got them all. And the raccoon ran away. He sniffed the cards first, making sure that it's not real food. And then was like, yeah, I guess I don't have anything to catch here. This lady is not gonna give me food. All right, with all that said, let's see what we have for you. So for personal space and love life, you have 8 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and 9 of Cups. Then for your workspace and career, you have the World, 2 of Swords, and the Strength. The World is Capricorn energy, the Strength is Leo energy. And then the advice, we have Death, this is Scorpio. The Chariot, this is Cancer. And the Moon, Pisces. Wow, this is major, lots of major arcanas. And look at that, the bottom of the deck is the Wheel of Fortune, another major arcana. So you have like half of the cards are major arcanas, which is amazing, and it's massive. It's just like a massive push from the universe towards the best version of yourself, right? But I started talking about that surrender and trusting rather than trying to make something, right? And I feel like this is very much in touch with what we're going to talk about right now, because major arcanas are basically telling you, you know, things are going to be happening whether you like it or not. These are energies from the divine orchestration, but of course it's up to you how you take it, what you make of it, right? That's the difference that we can make. So for your personal space, we have 8 of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and 9 of Cups. There's something you want, most likely in a partnership, in a romantic partnership, whether it's with a spouse, a partner. There's this image of a spouse, basically. That's Queen of Pentacles vibe. And then whatever you feel is missing from the picture of the spouse, and you want that to be fulfilled at this time. I just turned around because those guys rollerblading behind me, they've been on this route a few times and they keep talking about their relationships, and it's funny like to get an update based on like what you hear, you know, when they're passing by. But yeah, anyway, so it's possible for you to achieve what you want, but you need to get out of your own way and to stop seeing yourself as a victim to a certain extent. Well, that's because you don't think that the partner you chose has the qualities to be your committed partner, you know, husband, wife material, whatever it is. Or you feel like you can't be at your best as a partner to them because of whatever your situation is, whether you have to take care of someone, or you're being pulled in a different direction in terms of your resources, or it's just somebody else draining your energy, right? But there are some circumstances, and it makes you think that whatever this desire is, that it's unachievable, but it actually is. It's in your head. You are self-sabotaging it. And wherever you feel that you don't have enough resources, like, you know, right now I just don't have time for it, I don't have energy to go into this extra mile, it's in your power to change that around. For your workspace, we have the World, 2 of Swords, and Strength. Again, it's talking about bravery. It's talking about, even with the World, you see there's like the 2 of Swords is making a decision, trying to find like which option out of the two to go with, or to listen to my headspace or my heart space kind of vibe, right? And in this World card specifically, there are actually 2 planets, right, two globes that she's holding. So there's also this juxtaposition of one versus the other, and maybe one is easier, the other one feels more fulfilling. Like it's not an easy choice. But the thing is that it's important to, first of all, to make this decision out of place of courage, out of place of, I would say, authority, yes, of a leadership, you know, of like, what would I love to see, like a visionary kind of vibe. Also, it's important not to make it uncomfortable for yourself. So you could be thinking of choosing something that would be good for other people involved, maybe for your loved ones, maybe for whatever your team is, right? Because we're talking about workspace here, or your boss or your clients, but it will end up being damaging for you personally, right? And that could also be a difficult choice, but that's not what we're looking for here. You see, like, she's made this birdhouse and the birds are happy, but she can't even see anymore, right? And I bet it's heavy. So it's stylish, but not convenient at all. So it's important to also consider what your take is, right? What is your vision for this next step in your business or in your career? And the advice finally is the Death, the Chariot, and the Moon, all major arcanas. So first of all, yet another reminder that there's a lot of divine orchestration happening. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. More so, tune into the energy and the messages that are being given to you, right? And you may need to listen closely, right? Because they could be subtle messages. But also, there is a huge opportunity for you to start a new life, basically, to get a new identity, to change your lifestyle completely, you know, whatever resonates for your situation, right? Like, you could become a completely different person. And I know that could sound good to some people and not so good to others, but I mean, again, as a better version of yourself, you know, as a butterfly that grew out of a caterpillar, right? But it's very important for you to tune into these guidances, right? Or to ask maybe some questions that you may have on what is my next step? How do I decide, right? Where do I go? Show me a sign, right? Like, it's important to ask your higher power for support, for answers. Finally, we'll get some messages for a person from yourself. Messages for Sagittarius from their person of interest. We have the King of Swords, clarified by Page of Cups, and Queen of Swords. That's interesting. Now the boat passing by. So you may think at first that we have a couple here, because we have King of Swords and Queen of Swords. But they are not actually a couple in tarot. They're more like sister and brother. So it's possible that your person right now is not really seeing you primarily as a love interest. It could be that you two haven't really gotten to that territory yet altogether. Like, you're still in a friendship phase, right? Or you kind of know each other casually because you have friends in common or something, or you work together, but you're not in that territory yet. And your person doesn't really see you as that, but they see a lot of similarities between the two of you, in your personality, in the way you think, maybe in the way you communicate as well. And for them, this is very endearing, right? Like, this is something where they recognize a lot of themselves in you, if you wish. Is it the perfect match? I don't know, but they definitely have interest, right? And they may want to send you like a cute message or even a love note, you know, but it's more about like, how do I make it right now so it doesn't scare you off if you haven't crossed that barrier yet, you know, or that you don't reject them because whichever way they will present their feelings, or if they, let's say, ask you out or invite you to an event or something like that, what if you don't like it? What if you reject that, right? And they don't want to get it wrong. One of the qualities, sorry guys, had to pick up the card before it flies away. One of the qualities of King of Swords is being wanting to feel very confident and comfortable in communication, right? So it's like being overly cautious, I would even say. And so this person, it's important for this person to get it right. They don't want to rely on coulda, woulda, shoulda, like, oh, okay, well, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. No. They have this persona, this ego of like a winner, of like, it has to work. But it's coming from a good place because they have a lot of attraction, right? It's just more about how they're gonna take it forward. So hopefully this was helpful to you. And by all means, in that situation, feel free to initiate the communication or ask them out. They will definitely be happy to hear from you. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it here. There's another boat coming in. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye.